so noisy tonight.
Yes, I noticed lots of peeking off the chair.
I can't.
Are you getting off my chair?
No, I'm not.
I am going to get a new chair. I'm just waiting to find the right one.
But were you before? Because my chair does squeak a bit. I've been trying not to move much, especially when I'm speaking.
And it's appreciated. Yeah.
I am going to get a new chair, but it's going to have to wait until after I've got a new monitor, because that blew up last week, until I've done my holiday to Norway, until basically when I ever have
they're not cheap, are they?
The chair is at the top of my list.
Mate, you need a new monitor?
Nice.
I got one.
Nice.
I'm trying to think when I'm back in Oxfordshire. It's a while, but
I mean, I've got one. Like I'm not just sort of clicking things and hoping that they're the right ones. No. I am using like a really old TV screen, which is so old it still has a SCART socket.
Oh, and it's a cathode ray tube, is it?
Yeah. Not quite. It's an LCD, but it's it is old.
Must have been a really early LCD one if it's got a SCART.
It is. This belonged to my late grandparents, and they've been dead for at least 10 years. So
it's a family heirloom.
You could say that. This belongs in a museum.
10 years ago, I still had a tube TV. I mean, it was a big one, but it was heavy as fuck. But
yeah, I would have probably still had a little CRT, one that I picked up from a charity shop for 20 quid. That lasted me really well. Yeah.
Good old CRT.
What's a good comfy chair?
Good old seat.
Best for playing old consoles on. The colours are better.
Yeah, they're more vivid, aren't they? They don't blend quite so badly.
Yeah.
Yeah, a good chair, Darren. There's lots out there. I mean, the kind of really popular ones for streaming and gaming and stuff is the Secret Lab ones. I'm not too convinced by them.
Sold on those
I sort of read
racing type gaming chairs, because even the more expensive ones, they're all churned out of the same place in China. They just whack different labels on them.
Yeah.
I think just a regular office chair that's good for my back.
Get a fancy business chair.
Well, I got a formal office chair. Like, it's a proper, like, what you would expect in an office. It's got a mesh back. Really comfy, though, and makes, like, no noise.
Yeah.
But I know brand new, these ones are, like, 250 quid.
This chair is old.
I got mine for a discount, because I know people.
Mine is literally from the office.
Like every couple of...
Do they know you've got it, Amy?
Yes,
is this your
I did ask if I could take one when we started working from home.
I was going to say, is this your subtle way of saying you quit? Take furniture.
No.
I was going to ask if Ricky Gervais had sat in it.
Yeah, or Steve Carell, if you're that way inclined.
Yeah.
Oh, that took me a second. I was like, why would Ricky Gervais sit in my chair?
Because you got it from the office.
Yes. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of Ricky Gervais.
Years ago.
Was it really?
Yeah, I know. It's horrifying.
I was 10.
And this concludes our podcast for this evening. As we all fuck off.
But Stu, we can't end the podcast because we haven't started it yet. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Tales from 20side, a Pathfinder 2nd edition Let's Play podcast. My name is Dom, and I'm a GM for this game and for many others. And I'm joined by Stu.
Hey.
Joined by Neil.
Guten Abend.
Joined by Darren.
Hola.
I thought you'd fallen asleep for a second there, but it's just his internet freezing. And we are, of course, joined by Amy.
Hello.
Good evening, everybody. How are we today? I don't know why I went really sing-song. That was weird.
Well, it's kind of you to ask and to respond to you dumb.
Oh no! Is it beginning? Is this how we start 20-side the musical?
No.
With the stab, stab, stab song. And who can forget classic hits like Burn 'Em All? Oh, yeah, I'm doing good, thanks, Dom. Sort of excited and also not about Halloween. Because I love Halloween. It's my favourite time of year and it's coming up. And I don't have anything lined up. I don't know. I don't know of any events or anything that people are going to.
I'm just trying to think of when it is in relation to this recording. I think as this recording goes out, it's the week after. No, as in when this episode goes out, I think it's the week after.
Oh.
I shall be making a blood sacrifice to the Dark Lord of the Abyss.
Yes, excellent. But what are you doing differently for Halloween?
For Halloween, I have to think of something special.
I'm not doing anything for Halloween itself, but I am off to an Oktoberfest party.
Nice.
Ooh.
Nice.
Should be good.
Well, actually, when does Oktoberfest? Oktoberfest actually ends on the first weekend in October, doesn't it? It runs mainly through September.
Technically, it does. Yeah, like obviously, if you go to Germany and go to Bavaria and do it properly, it ends, as you say, first weekend of October. However, over in England, we're like, well, it says Oktoberfest, so it must be in October, innit?
Well, because I mean, when I was in Germany, I realised that even the smallest little village would have its own beer fest. There were just beer fests all summer long, and then they culminate in the big one in Munich, München. So yeah, they love their fest, and we went to the wine. They have a wine fest as well on the Moselle, Kochen.
Nice. That's not something you often associate with Germans. Is wine.
I suppose not. No, that is a wine producing region in the Moselle Valley between
Isn't Riesling German?
Lasky Riesling, yeah, it's yes, it's German, and of course Alsace Lorraine is, well, at the moment it's French, but
depending on who you ask. Depending on who you ask,
yeah.
And does Al know you're talking about his ass?
Yeah.
Just to bring the tone down.
I watched Red Heat the other night. James Belushi and Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he's Arnold Schwarzenegger is playing the sort of tough Russian cop who comes over, and James Belushi is the wise cracking Chicago cop, and he says to him, "Yeah, he's untouchable. You can't touch his ass." And Arnold Schwarzenegger says, "I don't want to touch his ass."
Which, considering some of Arnold Schwarzenegger's early movies, is quite surprising.
I mean, it's almost like the character is different to the actor, Stu.
Funny that, isn't it? Anyway, as a Trekkie, I've got no interest in Oktoberfest. I'm more interested in Spocktoberfest.
Spocktoberfest.
Is that a thing?
It is now.
Yeah.
I mean, tell me about this, Stu. You've piqued my interest.
Oh
what is Spocktoberfest? Sell me Spocktoberfest.
Well, we spent like every day during the entire month of October. We strike a different Spock-esque pose. Sometimes it's the eyebrow, which Amy does brilliantly. The old Spock eyebrow. Sometimes it's the greeting with the hands, and the live long and prosper. Sometimes you run up to a mate and do the Vulcan neck pinch on them.
Just collapse in the street. Just leave them lying in the gutter.
But every day, so you're just celebrating your favourite Vulcan.
So, are there 31 different things that you do that are Spock related, or are there repeats?
Well, it would only be logical to have repeats. Anyway.
For the benefit of the podcast, Amy did demonstrate her wonderful Spock eyebrow just then. It was
I
fantastic.
can't see it.
Yes. And if you watch our Star Trek Adventures stream every other Wednesday on my Twitch channel, you will see Amy's eyebrow on our new title sequence.
Do you think you could perhaps shave the other one so that we know which one to watch?
It took a long time, Neil.
So that's
Well, actually, Amy, you can do a thing I can't, because I've never been able to raise my right eyebrow. I can do the
I'm not
left.
very good with my left one. So I had to practice to do my right one, and then I'm not good with my left
How
one.
do you
I can
even
sometimes do it.
practice?
I can do my left, but I can't do...
Well, it's a
can't do
muscle,
my
isn't
right.
it? You've got to... Like, can you wiggle
No.
your ears?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, not with headphones on.
Yeah, I can do it with headphones on, but you just can't see it.
Exactly.
Move your glasses.
I can bend just the tips of my fingers as well.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that always freaks me out. That always freaks me out. Like, I used to be able to.
Bending
fact-
my fingers back.
Now that I try, I can actually do some of my tips with my fingers.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Takes a while. It's because
That
if
was
you're double
also-
jointed in your knuckles,
That was very, very painful. We're never doing that again.
you've got to bend
That
your
didn't look
knuckles back
comfortable.
Oh yeah, I can do that.
to do it. Yeah.
Point round corners.
Again,
Yeah.
this means nothing to our audio audience.
But it's fine. We're saving our party tricks for later.
That's
wiggling
it.
our
Yes,
fingers.
yeah. So Stu, you mentioned that you've now got a title sequence for your Star Trek streams. It's a bit posh, isn't it? You're going somewhere with it.
No. We started season. Well, we haven't started. We're actually starting season 2 as we're recording tomorrow, but that'll be out by then, won't it, Amy?
Yes.
Amy, you tell him about it.
Yeah, it's in space. It's Star Trek. I'm selling it so well, but it's really fun.
Oh, I'll
should
tell
watch
you
it.
what. I'll tell you. Speaking of other things that have been sold really well and they're super fun. No. Let's get back into Pathfinder, folks. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I want to see
Speaking of
what's
poorly
happened
thought out segues,
We've certainly had a few of them in your adventure recently. So yeah, how's everyone feeling right about now? You made it out of Martin's guardhouse with your lives. You've made a new acquaintance.
I'm glad I'm on the property ladder now. It took a while, but done well.
I mean, as a mid-20s halfling on a single income, it was the only way that you were ever going to get there with Denham, wasn't it?
Yeah. Now I just need to get it evaluated.
To kill the inhabitants and take it for yourself.
making a killing on the property market.
And even then, you don't own it outright. It is a shared property. Communally
I've got
owned.
the key.
You have the key, but
said it was shared.
we have become a housing association with for our library, our converted library.
It's like London.
need to-
It's impossible to own somewhere on your own. You've got to share it with half a dozen other people you barely know.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good location. It's close to the city.
It really is.
So
It's a little bit of a smell, but
you can air that out. You can air that out. A few candles, a bit of incense. You'll clear it right out.
Mop up the blood stains. It'd be like you.
Comes with a wolfskin rug.
It does.
Yes.
and an ogre doormat.
Yeah.
So how's Brother Amos feeling about Otto
I'm
pointing a stick
excited
at
to see
him?
what happens.
No pun intended.
Yes, I'm kind of curious myself.
Is this the first time Otto's pointed his stick at you, Amos?
In public.
Whatever they get up to in private is their business.
It won't be the last, I can tell you.
There we go. All right then, folks. Shall we get back into tonight's game?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So our adventurers, Alwyn Templeton, Brother Amos, Otto von Niederschläger, and Della Thornbury, having survived their encounter with Marcian Exorian, the Winter Wolf turned kind of local crime boss, thug, gang leader type thing.
All-round dick.
All-round dick. I think that's a good way to describe him. Having defeated Marcian and freed Ringeirr Malenkov from his incarceration, you had a chance to catch your breath in this sort of rundown library building. As you're doing so, three of Marcian's other kind of sort of ruffians in his employ entered the building, saw what had happened, and promptly ran the F away. Alwyn moved to pursue them, but sort of encouraged just to let them go by Ringeirr. Alwyn called off Chardonnay before any serious damage could have been done to them. The four of you began to talk to the newly released Ringeirr. You told him who you were. You told him why you'd come to the city of Whitethrone, and you asked him for his help to smuggle you inside the city itself. And in doing so, he told you a bit about the current political climate in the city. He told you that Queen Elvana had declared martial law and seemed to have made some kind of move against her mother, Baba Yaga. And he offered, after letting you rest up, he offered to take you to a contact of his known as Digby Rat, an individual who could forge you the necessary papers you needed in order to move through the city with relative ease. You were then taken to Ringeirr's house, where you could rest for the evening. And whilst you were having your evening's rest, Della produced an object that she had found within the guardhouse itself. A strange stick of wood, coated with silver and seeming to shimmer to the eye as you looked at it. You correctly identified this as a magic wand, but were unable to discern exactly what it did. And as Otto attempted to use the wand and attempted to use it on Brother Amos to see what it did, he held the wand aloft, muttered some arcane words that even he didn't know until this moment, and nothing happened. What would you like to do?
Oh. Can I have a go?
Of course.
I mean, I've got some sort of magical abilities, albeit religious types. Divine abilities. Maybe it's a divine wand.
Well, it's no use to me.
I'll, if Otto will let me take it off him, I'll give it a go myself.
Yes,
All right.
you're welcome.
Alwyn?
Yeah.
Please roll either an Arcana or an Occultism check, please.
Oh shit, both of those are -1. And I've rolled a 7, so 6.
Do you want to keep it as a 6?
No. I'm going to use my hero point. Try that again.
Oh, totally worth it.
Oh, 10.
10, yeah. You also hold it in your hand, Alwyn, and yeah, nothing happened.
Can I have a go then?
You absolutely can.
Yeah. I'm not good at this either. I rolled a 6.
So as you pass the wand over to Della, Alwyn, Della sort of tries to copy what she's watched Alwyn and Otto attempt to do. She sort of closes her eyes, wiggles it around, starts to sort of talk through kind of inhaled breath rather than exhaled, trying to sound mystical and magical. And as you attempt to do this, Della, you feel a slight jolt from the stick itself, and it knocks it out of your hand.
Well,
Expelliarmus!
Let me try.
Yes, he
Brother Amos
knows that
pick it up and point it. point it at his own face.
Okay.
And I'm doing an occultism roll.
Occultism, okay. Roll the check.
$23.
20, okay. So, Brother Amos, having watched everyone else try and completely fail at this wand, as it leaps out of Della's hand like a spark of static, you bend down and you pick it up, and yeah, you attempt to use the wand yourself, and yeah, kind of as you are kind of looking at it and attempting to use it, some kind of, it's weird to say, some kind of intuitive knowledge about this thing just lets you channel some power from your own inner key into the wand, which the wand seems to respond to quite nicely. And as you do so, everybody else watches as Brother Amos begins to shimmer, and you can see that he kind of splits into 4 of himself, and they begin kind of swirling around each other where he stands. Brother Amos,
destroyed.
You ascertain that this is a wand of mirror image.
There's 4 of him now. Fuck. That's all we needed.
That's it. Campaign over, folks. We can't handle this many fists.
Gonna stop
Go and
waving my
find
hands
4 people
through...
to punch.
Gonna stop waving my hands through Amos's to see if they've got any physical presence or.
Yeah, no, they pass. Your hand passes through them all.
All 4.
Not. I mean, are you trying to find the quote unquote real one?
Yeah. See if I can locate which one is real.
Make an unarmed attack for me.
I mean, I'm not trying to hit him.
I know.
What's this? Oh my goodness, unarmed. So
It's going to be either dex or strength. Plus proficiency.
Expert. So yeah, okay. It's 20.
It's 20. What's your AC, Brother Amos?
It is 20.
It's 20. Okay. Please roll a D4 for me, Brother Amos.
A D4.
Yes, little pyramid one.
4.
4. Okay. Orwin, as you sort of fumble around to try and find the real Brother Amos, you grab towards one of the images, and your fingers close around nothing but air as that image of Brother Amos winks out. Ooh. There are now 3 of him.
Oh,
They
anybody else
burst
want to
like
go at this?
they burst like bubbles.
Yes.
Whack an Amos.
Yeah. Does anyone else want to try?
Yes, let me try.
All right. Otto, roll a D20. Add either your strength or dex mod and your proficiency.
Oh, not very high. My strength or dex.
Yes, the modifier.
I will add my. That doesn't matter. And then what do I add to it? Strength dice plus strength plus
Proficiency.
proficiency.
So probably 2 plus your level.
2 plus my level.
Yes, I imagine you're only trained in unarmed attacks.
Unarmed attacks. Unarmed.
You probably haven't got an entry on your sheet because it's not really something we use that often.
No.
To be
So-
at the very bottom of the first sheet, where it says weapon proficiencies, underneath one of those boxes should say unarmed. And
It
there'll
does,
be a
yes.
tick under TE.
No, nothing.
So you're not even trained then?
No.
I mean, I think everybody's trained in them.
Okay.
So at the very least, you'll get 2 plus your level, Otto. So plus 7 to the attack.
13.
13. You swipe through the air, Otto, and another of these images pops before you. There are now 2 remaining. Della, do you want to go?
Yeah. Can I throw a wooden knife from my necklace, please?
You absolutely can. You pluck a wooden stake from your necklace of knives, and you flick it towards Brother Amos. Roll an attack.
18.
18, and the third and final of these images pops as you nail it right between the eyes, Della.
That was fun.
Embedded in the real Amos's skull, while screaming to the floor.
Chardonnay's turn for the last one. Right, well, that's a really useful thing then, isn't it? So we can do that once a day.
What I will say is that mirror image, and you would kind of figure this out from the difficulty that you all had trying to use it. Mirror image only appears on the arcane and the occult spell lists. So unless you use one of those spell lists, you cannot cast this spell without the use of trick magic item.
It's me out. I mean, I got nothing when I tried to. I didn't even get like I was trying to, like it was trying to work.
Yeah, it really didn't like me.
It really didn't.
No, it didn't work for me.
Well, that time.
And what I will say, just for the avoidance of any confusion, although I was letting you roll to try and use it, that was more just for the moment there. Like usually to try and use it, you'll need the feat trick magic item.
Something to think about for the future.
So does Brother Amos have a spell list?
No, I don't think he does.
So
because his
really, it should be in Otto's possession then.
Yeah, I'll give Otto
for Otto to use.
But I couldn't. It was Della who made it work.
It was Brother Amos on that occasion, but no, that's what I'm saying is normally, like, it would only be you that can use it.
So you may as well have it.
Well,
actually,
I'll take it then.
I think Otto is the primal spell list, isn't he? Because you're a nature sorcerer.
Oh, do you not
Does
have
that
access
mean
to
4 sharks?
If he cast it on himself and
What if you cast it on yourself and then on me? And then I can...
use it once a
The
day?
4 of me can ride the 4 of you.
It's an interesting piece of kit. Anyway, where did you find that, Della?
That was in a little box. No, was it on the wolf guy? Or was it in the box?
it was in the box.
It was in
Shall
the
I
box.
add it to
found the
my
box.
inventory?
Yeah, somebody add a wand of mirror image to their inventory.
Yeah, it's no use to me. I can't use it.
Was there anything else that you found?
Yeah, there was like a couple of potions. Nothing
What
that
sort
exciting.
of potions?
A couple of healing ones.
That's
Yeah,
handy.
they were lesser healing potions, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, yes, I have. I did write everything down, and it is already recorded. Just not on that page on my notes.
We should probably spread healing potions around ourselves, don't you think? Or around the 3 of you, at very least.
Well, I currently have 1 minor healing potion, 2 lesser healing potions, and 1 moderate healing potion.
I have a lesser healing potion.
I don't have any. I have 1 lesser healing potion.
And 1
wants
potion
what, then?
of expeditious retreat.
You do, I'd forgotten about that.
I can't remember what that does.
Let's go through our inventory. This is a good time
I've got
for that.
5 lesser healing potions here.
I'll spread them around.
So yeah, oh yes. No, I'll give 1 to Otto and 1 to Amos.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah,
2 times lesser healing potions.
Spread around enough. Right. So there was the wand and the potions. Anything else?
I think that was it.
Okay. Can I do a perception check to see if I notice Della's lying? Because Stu knows she's lying.
I'm not really a fan of players rolling against each other.
Fair enough.
That's kind of for you to role play out amongst yourselves.
Fair enough. Owen's the trusting sort.
Good.
Oh, but God help you if he finds out. Yeah, right. Well, productive day.
How long has it been since I got that message, just to ask?
That is a very, very good question. Talk amongst yourselves for just 30 seconds.
No.
So is there anything else we want to get from the fish camps before we go into the town?
Another fish, perhaps.
Yeah, do we need more fish?
I'm all right. I'm not a big fan of fish.
It's very good for you.
I don't know whether there's anything here that I would need.
I mean, you mentioned there's a blacksmith, so maybe, if we need to upgrade weapons or armour or something like that, we can... I mean, I don't know how much the blacksmith in a place like this will have, but it's worth asking. Maybe.
I've been thinking about hammering some nails through either end of my staff.
Right. Maybe get a glaive or something.
Ooh.
I'm a big fan of pole arms.
Pole arms, yes. Yeah, that's a thought. But we can take a trip to the blacksmith's in the morning and see what he's got. I mean, I imagine just sort of like, I don't know, tying a butcher's knife to the end of your staff will do the job.
Yeah.
In fact, that'd probably be more scary than an actual glaive. Scare the shit out of me, I know that.
Maybe
okay.
you could get
if you tie a butcher's knife to both ends, then you can attack the enemy simultaneously while chopping one of our ears off.
or your own ear off.
Yes, well, that would be preferable.
So I think, looking at my notes, I think it's only been a day.
Oh, okay.
Or just over a day since you received that message, because you received that message as you rested after the shenanigans with the river. And after that you rested for the night. You were attacked by the ogres, and then you had it was about a day's travel from there to the outskirts of Whitethrone.
Okay.
And it's kind of just getting towards so it has been probably no more than a day.
Cool.
It's been a full day.
It's a very full day.
I am tired.
That's it. And so, kind of with everything resolved regarding the wand, I'm assuming you all settle down for your rest. Is that correct?
Yes.
Are we going to take watchers just in case?
I'm just going to go to sleep.
Della just goes to sleep.
Okay,
We could take watches.
No, I think I'll stay up for a little bit. I'll keep first watch.
Okay. Brother Amos, do you want to take a watch?
No, I'll take second.
Okay, I'll go third then.
And just wake Della up early. Tell her it's time to make breakfast. Or something.
Fair enough. All right. So, as the evening wears on, as mentioned, you're all given sort of some quite hearty soup by Ringeirr. It's a nice hot meal that fills your bellies, and you all eventually begin to settle down for the evening. Otto, you hear the sound of perhaps a snowstorm sort of washing across the fish camps. You hear the wind howling a little outside, and the soft sounds of snow landing outside. A bit of a chill blows through the house, but you sort of tuck up closer to the fire, and you wait it out, and then you wake Brother Amos for his watch, and kind of. Brother Amos, as you come to kind of start taking your watch, you see that Ringeirr and Nadia are also awake as you do so. They appear to be quietly chatting to each other, kind of in the kitchen area, away from where you're all sleeping. Let's have a perception roll.
15.
Okay. As you're kind of sat there, you're just sat enjoying being inside 4 solid walls that aren't created of magic. It's a very it's a comparatively comfortable night's sleep. The snowstorm outside appears to have died down. The wind has stopped, and if you take a moment to kind of glance outside at any point, you see that the snow has stopped and hasn't laid on too much more thickly than it was previously. It is still bitingly cold though, and you sort of tuck up into your furs and a bit closer to the fire. But your evening's watch passes without incident, Brother Amos, and you rouse Olwyn for his.
Rouse.
All right. And Olwyn, just as you're coming up for your watch, you see that Ringeirr himself has gone to bed. Nadia is still awake whilst you start your watch. She seems to be just sort of thinking quite quietly to herself, and then a few minutes after you've risen to take watch, she wishes you good night and goes to sleep herself.
Yes, good night. Your watch passes again without incident. You hear a few animals calling outside, perhaps a bird or two flying over. As the first slivers of dawn begin to rise through the cracks in the wood slats, everybody begins to stir and rise for the next day of your adventure. You complete a rest, everybody. So you get your spells back. Any other abilities that you get back every day, you recover. And thanks to Olwyn's sort of ministrations the night before, you are all at full hit points.
Nice.
I've just had a thought mentioning Brother Amos, sleeping within 4 non-magical walls, made me think we camped out after Della got the message, which Alwyn is unaware of. We camped out there, and then we had another night where we stayed in the cozy cabin.
So that was the same night.
Was it the same night?
Because you got woken up by the ogre attack. You killed them, and then sort of slaughtered the exposition dump that I gave you, and then you
didn't realise it was the same night. Okay,
it was the same night, and then you had the cozy cabin there.
It's been a long day.
It really
Very long
has.
day. Very long day.
Feels like weeks.
Yeah, all of you have indeed slept very, very well. Possibly the best. This was some of the best night's sleep you've had, certainly since leaving Waldsby.
Thank you for letting us stay here, Ringeirr. It's probably the best night's sleep we've had since we left Waldsby.
I don't doubt it. I know that it is. You can look after yourselves in the wilds, especially with Nadia with you. But there is no substitute for a warm hearth and hot full day.
No, totally. Yes. Rather be comfortable.
All right. Well, are you all rested? Are you all good to move onwards? I can take you to Digby whenever you are ready.
I'm ready.
Yes, I'm ready.
Thought you wanted to go to the blacksmith first.
That's true.
This is awkward. He's right there.
Well, I mean, I don't mind, my friends, if you wish to stay in the fish camps a little longer. By all means, do so.
Go.
You want your meat cleavery thing.
Perhaps having slept on it. Perhaps it's no longer so important.
Now I've slept on it, I'd rather just crack on.
Yeah, let's make a move.
In the cold grey light of dawn, suddenly it's not so important.
I mean, for what it's worth, my new friends, if it's arms or armor you're looking for, I would recommend getting that from the city itself. Most of the trade that happens in the fish camps is local work for local people, if you get my drift. Like a broken farming implement, a net that needs repairing. They're not really equipped to cater for traveling adventurers such as yourself.
If it's local work for local people, are you saying there's nothing for us here?
Well, I mean, I'm local. I've got a house just up the road.
I'm not saying there's nothing for you here. Like if you have a sword that needs wetting, or perhaps some armor that needs some dents knocking out, they can do that for you. But
I think Della wants to check out perhaps what schools there are in the area.
What's the local coach routes like?
Yes.
Well, you see, they shut the coach route down many years ago. You see, the coach driver, he fell off. He fell off the cliff one day when he was making his run, and nobody else wished to do it, so the coach route stopped.
Business opportunity.
And where does the best kebab?
Kebab. I don't know what you mean by kebab, but if you want some kind of meat on a skewer, there you can get a fine fish skewer down by the dock.
And when do they collect the bins?
What's the council tax rate?
Well, now that you've dealt with Morrison, the council tax is exactly 0.
We are the council.
So, no, for the best kebab, Brother Amos, what you do is you get your staff, get a pointy thing on the end of your staff, and then you can make your own kebabs.
Could you get, I'm sure the blacksmiths around here would make anchors, right, for ships, so you could just affix an anchor to the top of your staff and just sharpen the ends.
It would be a bit heavy, I think.
But it would be an anchor on a stick.
And then Brother Amos can come up with a battle cry. Have an anchor, you wankers.
He'd be an anchor man.
Hey.
Oh.
I tell you what, just going back to that idea of Brother Amos making a kebab with a staff. I am now just imagining like Brother Amos there with a staff covered in meat, and Otto is just behind him, like grilling it from one side as he's
But keep it rotating.
Yes, you have. Yes, you have.
We're going to retire Otto and open up a kebab shop.
And a coach route.
And a coach route. Kebab shop and a coach route. Here we go.
Yeah. Taking people back to the fish camps when they're drunk. So they can get a kebab.
That sounds like a brilliant idea. We should
Amos
sack
and
this
Otto
quest
kebabs.
off to save the world and do this.
In the meantime, did we want Digby first, or do we want to speak to these summer folk?
The heralds.
Solvik.
Solvik, yes. I mean, I can take you to Solvik if you wish, but honestly, it is best we go and get you seen with Digby first. He can get you your papers that will allow you to move through the city a little more unimpeded.
Okay.
That sounds sensible.
Let us do that.
Presumably, Digby's going to want paying.
Yes, of course. He is a businessman.
What would be the going rate?
Well, that depends on the level of the forgery that you wish. As I mentioned previously, he offers 3 kind of options if you wish. The most simple option, or I suppose I should also explain a few things regarding the city's laws at the same time. So, the simplest option, the least expensive, Digby can make papers that identify you as a slave, as property of one of the noble houses, of one of the Stilyagi, that sort of thing. Now, slave papers are the kind of the best, just for not being noticed. Like, nobody really questions the slave papers, but you will have less freedoms. You would not be able to wear your armor or to carry any weapon larger than a dagger. There are also some places in the city that slaves are not allowed to go, but as I say, in general, that is the best choice for avoiding notice. Alternatively, he could do you a set of Stilyagi papers. Now, these are more expensive, but they would allow you access to the entire city, and there would be no restrictions on what equipment you can carry and wear openly. The one downside to this is that if you do get stopped and searched, they are more likely to be detected as forged.
So the more expensive ones are less reliable.
Yes, but they grant you more freedoms.
Okay.
Generally speaking, as long as you don't cause a nuisance, you shouldn't be stopped and searched.
Oh, we can't guarantee
What's the third
that,
option?
Well, the third option is a merchant's license, which sits somewhere between the two in terms of price. With a merchant's license, you can you essentially have the same benefits as the Stilyagi. You can go most places in the city. You can carry and wear what you wish in terms of weapon and armors. You can also freely trade within the city limits, subject to other trade regulations. However, unless you have a legitimate means of posing as a merchant, that will probably be detected. That will probably become suspicious and detected as forged.
Right. I've got a suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
Right. why don't we get one of the Stilyagi papers for Della? Because, you're the most hoity-toity
Right.
out of us. And also you're the least merchant-like. And if the three of us get merchant papers... Well, I mean, Otto, you're a bounty hunter. That's a trade.
It's a trade, indeed.
That's a trade. I can pretend to be a beer seller, and we're here to negotiate with Della for merchanty things. Maybe Della needs a contract taking out on someone, and maybe needs lots of beer. And Amos, you can be I don't know, what do monks trade in?
Fists.
Fighting lessons.
Fighting lessons? So a trainer?
I will be clear, when I say the merchant license, I mean it is a license to trade in goods, not services.
Well, you guys said you had a lot of things to do in shops. Do you have enough stuff to pose as merchants?
Well, I'm thinking we could just be there to negotiate, like basically setting up a trade route type of thing.
So all we need,
we're here to negotiate.
all we need to show is money. We have money.
Supply, so many barrels of beer.
I mean, how would it be possible to get hold of a cart and a few barrels of fish and use fish as our trade? Or do they not like fish from around here?
No, it's that's actually quite curious. That's twice now you've said something that was in my mind, little halfling. In fact, as part of I do have a cart of some frozen fish which I need to take into the howlings. In fact, that was going to be my next point. Until you get your papers, you will need to pose as slaves. You will need to draw as little attention as possible, and this will mean basically not walking in there with your weapons, obviously out. So what I was going to suggest is I need to get this cart of fish into the howlings anyway. There are some people there who need the food. I was going to suggest that you hide your weapons and such inside the cart of fish, and I give them back to you once we're inside the walls.
Okay.
But the answer to your question again, Della, is yes. I have a cart and I have a load of fish.
Well, I don't need to carry weapons. I am a weapon.
Thinking about it, yes. You and Brother Amos, neither of you wear armor. Neither of you. Well, you can get by without carrying weapons. Both of you.
I could
You'd
also
be all right with your clan dagger anyway, Otto.
I never use it. It's a fucking useless thing.
Compared
to turning into a snake or a shark.
It's a family sentimental thing.
Yes.
It's
a family sentimental thing.
Yes.
More than a weapon.
Well, it's still
more
useful for stabbing people.
It's more useful for showing it to people
before you stab them. So really, there's only the two of us. So maybe 2 slave licenses.
I just had a thought, actually. Yes, you could perhaps take out 2 slave licenses and 2 of these Stilyagi. Otto and Amos, you could be slaves or retainers of Olwyn and Della. That could work. Like when I feel like I should stress when I say slaves, it's not like it's not the same as it is in the south. Like there are no chains, there are no whips, that sort of thing. Slaves in Whitethrone tend to kind of dress in similar fashions to their masters. They are allowed degrees of personal freedom, but they remain the property of those who own them.
Slaves and whips of the mind. Yes. It's not slaves, chains and whips of the mind.
Whips and chains. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but whips and chains excite me.
Yes. I think that sounds like a plan. We can be still Yargies, Della.
Yes.
And we'll be slaves.
Have our dirty, filthy slaves who should know their place. Yes, this isn't going to go wrong at all.
We must also ensure that we have some sort of coherence as a group. We mustn't invite people to speculate what is he doing with her and her doing with him, and this is a strange group of people. Why would these people be together? We don't want that sort of question to pose itself in the minds of anyone seeing us.
Like I say, Otto, I understand your concern, but the Still Yagi are an eccentric bunch, you could say. They dress in all the latest fashions from the south. They encourage their slaves and their household to adopt similar fashions. Some of them even walk around pretending to be great adventurers. None of them are of course. They're all playing at something they're not. But it's what I'm saying is, if you were Della's slave, for example, it wouldn't be so out of place.
And what about Chardonnay? Will Chardonnay draw much attention?
No, I mean as long as you keep the beast on a short leash, to use a term.
Is that the manner of speech? You don't mean me to actually put a lead on Chardonnay, do you?
No. There are no laws regarding the restraining of animals. But what I will say is anything that the wolf gets up to is your responsibility.
That's fair enough. Yes, I get the credit. Yes, fine. Which of these slaves do you want then, Della?
I don't know.
You don't have to decide just now. I mean, we've got to get you over to Digby's first to get the papers sorted out.
Okay.
Let's do that then.
Yes. Away to Digby Rats.
Lead the way.
Right. So, as you all gather your things, sort of from where you've been resting for the daytime, for the evening. Sorry, you finish what remains of your breakfast, and Ringeirr starts to lead you out of his house, and the group of you sort of walk down towards the docks where you were just yesterday, defending some of the fisher folk from injustice. And Ringeirr leads you over to a small rowboat that looks just big enough for the group of you, and he gestures for you all to come aboard. Come aboard. This is my boat. I need to take us over to the far side of the city, and rowing across the lake. I say across the lake. Rowing around the shore is the fastest way to do so.
Okay.
Let's have a perception roll as you kind of approach this area.
Our first roll of this session, I think. 16.
20.
29.
Okay, so and what was your roll again?
16.
16, and Otto's was
20.
20. Okay, so Olwyn, you don't notice this. Everybody else, as you were kind of approaching the boat, you kind of noticed the fishermen, a few of the fisher folk, basically basically stopped their work to kind of watch you as you all pass by, and you can see that sort of furtive whispering was happening amongst them all. And Della, with your perception there, you pick up a little bit of what they were saying. It's things along the lines of, oh, are those the folk who? Yeah, that's them. That's the folk. That's the folk who took down Marcion. Oh, they've done so much for us. That's incredible. There seems to be just a whisper of adoration making its way around the fish camps as you make your way through. But Della, with your particularly with your role and you as well, Brother Amos, kind of as you get to this boat, both of you notice that Nadia is stood a little way back from the group, and as Ringeirr gestures for you all to climb aboard, you see Olwen and Otto start climbing aboard the boat, and you see that Nadia is staying where she is staying put at the far end of this little dock.
Are we all going, or what?
So Amos and Della are the ones who've noticed this. What would you like to do?
Ask her if she's joining us. Are you not joining us?
No, you know what, Amos? I think this is where I say goodbye.
Okay. Bye.
Oh, well, it all seems a bit abrupt after we've been through so much together.
What? What's happening? What?
I think I've come a long way with four of you, and you've done right by me. You've done well. But I was talking to Ringeirr last night, and seeing that battle that you were in with Marcion, I think you're going places that I can't follow.
Yeah, I've got children to think about.
I do, Amos, and as much as I want to come with you, and I want to split Najana's skull for what she did to Thora, I feel like I'm only going to be a hindrance to you, and I've got the boys to think about. So it's been an absolute honour journeying with you. But I think this has to be goodbye.
Oh, no. Get back out the boat, run over and give her a hug.
Yeah, and she embraces you warmly, Olwen. And kind of as she does so, she pulls away from you after a moment, and she looks you in the eye, Olwen, and she says, "You know, when I watched Marcion slam you against the wall like you did, in that moment you reminded me a lot of my Hjelnek and the way that he died. Oh, and I've got something for you. I get the feeling that this will mean more to you than most." And she reaches into her leathers and slips off a sort of brass necklace, the pendant of which is styled like a longbow. You recognise this to be a holy symbol of Erastil. And she presses it into your hand. "You're my family now. As far as I'm concerned, Olwen, you're my family now. As are all of these. You keep them safe, all right?"
Thank you. Do you know what? I'm going to consider this a loan. And when we're done, when we finish what we're doing, we'll bring this back to you, okay?
Of course. I'll be waiting for you in Elsprin.
Yes. Yes, I think you're
Go on.
making the right choice.
Off you go now.
All right.
I don't want you all to see me cry. And you can see she breathes sort of deeply, and is quivering a bit as she does so.
Yeah. Head back into.
No, I don't want to see that either.
Ringeirr, you look after these assholes now. Now you hear? Don't let them do anything stupid.
What?
Or at least try not to. I know how much of a handful they are. Goodbye, all of you, and thank you.
Well, goodbye.
Goodbye, Nadia.
It has been a pleasure knowing you.
Yes,
Oi.
thank you.
If you catch up with Najena, give her hell from me.
But I think he mainly try not to die.
Yes.
And she smiles as the four of you board the boat, and as Ringeirr unhooks it from the side, you see he and Nadia also share a brief embrace. She pats him on the shoulder as he turns back to the boat, climbs aboard himself, and begins to row you out onto the glacier lake. And as you all do so, you look back at Nadia standing proud on the shore, your companion of actually quite a long time, not just in game terms, but in real life terms as well. And you watch as she stands stoically on the pier as the boat rows out onto the lake. And that is where we're going to end for tonight, folks.
Tales from the 20 Side is a Feagle Films production in association with Juicy Falls. Music by Nazar Ryback from hooksounds.com, editing by Stu Jackson. Find us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram by searching Tales from the 20 Side or by visiting talesfromthe20side.com.
sad.
Yes.
Not a cliffhanger ending this time, a sad ending.
Yes. And we're screwed now.
Yeah, the one person
That's
that
it.
knew what
We're
they
all
were
going
doing.
to die. She was the most capable one amongst us. I say most. She was the capable one amongst us.
Yeah, she was always good with her words.
Yeah. Good with her guiding words. Always handy with a healing potion. Yeah. Let's hope Ringeir's worth his salt.
That's it. The training wheels are officially off now, folks. You got to adventure on your own.
Well, I would hope so. After
101 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's punch everything.
4 times.
That's it. No, like cut to an hour after Nadia has left you. The city of Whitethrone is on fire. You're being chased like all the way across the country. That sort of thing. Yeah, I think in fact I'm just trying to work out exactly how long Nadia's been with the party. I think it's probably about 50 episodes. She's been with the group for most of our podcast.